The Monster of the Deep. In the years 1866 and 1867, something extraordinary happened, something which nobody could explain and which people still remember today. Across the world, people could not stop talking about it, and for those who worked on a boat or ship, nothing was more important. For several months, sailors had reported seeing an enormous thing at sea. They said that it was long and narrow and sometimes gave out light, and that it was bigger and much faster than a whale. In fact, reports showed that it was much bigger than any sea animal that scientists knew of at the time. On 20 July 1866, the chief Governor Higginson had met the enormous thing near the east coast of Australia. The ship captain thought at first that he had found an island, but then two streams of water shot 50 meters up into the air, and the thing disappeared. The captain decided and it must be some strange sea monster. Something similar was seen on 23 July from another ship, but this time in Pacific Ocean. The monster had traveled more than 700 legions in only 3 days. As the week followed, more ships in difficult ocean gave similar report. Newspapers were full of stories about the monster, and there were popular songs and written about it. People imagine all kinds of large and extraordinary creatures, and scientists all over the world start to argue about what it could be. Was there really a strange animal living in the sea? They asked, or were there just stories? During the first month of 1867, nobody saw the creature, and the question was almost forgotten for a while. Then, at the end of March, a ship called the Scotia was hit by a large object. The Scotia traveled on the safely to shore, but when it left out of the sea, engineers could not believe their eyes. A hole had been cut in the bottom of the ship, 4 centimeters of iron, in the shape of a perfect triangle. Whatever had done, it must be very strange indeed. After that, the strange creature was no longer a problem for the scientists to solve, but a real and serious danger. Every accident at sea was blamed on the monster. People now believe that every one of the 200 ships that disappeared each year had probably been destroyed by it. Suddenly, traveling by the sea seemed extraordinary danger, and people want their government to do something about it. I was in New York when I heard the news about the Scotia. I had been working in Nebraska, and I was getting ready to go back to Paris, where I was a professor at the Museum of Natural History. I had read all the report about the monster and still could not decide what I thought. There were now two main opinions about it. Some people thought it was an extremely strong living creature. Others thought it was a submarine, faster than any other submarine known to man, but that was true. Then where it come from and who had bought it? And how could anyone make something to survive in secret? Sometime before, I had written a book called My Story of the Deep Ocean, so while I was in New York, a newspaper report asked for my opinion about the recent happening. This is what I told him. The deep bottom of the sea are a mystery to us. We do not know what lives there, and it is possible that there are animals that we have never seen before. But if we believe, then this is an animal that we already know. I think that it is probably some kind of large narwhal. The narwhal we see in the sea can be up 20 meters long, and they have a very long tooth growing out of the front of their head, which is strong and iron image. A narwhal 5 or 10 times bigger and more powerful than this, traveling at 30 kilometers an hour, and animals of the kind could easily cause their damage were stored in the Scotia. There was a lot of discussion about what I had written, or shortly after the United States prepared on the of a faster ship, the Abraham Lincoln, to try and find their creature. The ship was ready to leave New York as soon as it was green at sea again, but for 2 months there were no more sightings. The monster almost seemed to know that people were waiting for it. Then, on 2 July, news came that it had been seen again in the North Pacific Ocean. At once, the Abraham Lincoln was made ready to sail, and 3 hours before it left, I received this message. Professor Aronnax, 5th Avenue Hotel, New York. Sir, this government of the United States invites you to join the Abraham Lincoln on the expedition. Captain Florence has a servant ready for you. Yours secretly, J.B. Hobson of U.S. government. The 3 seconds before receiving this message, I had not even thought of trying to look for the strange monster, but 3 seconds after read it, I feel that my only goal in life was so fun that thing, so I accept that the officer immediately and called my servant Consul. Consul was now about 30 years old, 10 years younger than me. He had worked for me for 10 years and he had followed me all over the world. He was a good, honest man who would do anything for me. I liked him and he liked me too. He was calm, organized, and hardworking and was never surprised by anything. He never minded the long journey I took him on, and he was always happy to follow me to the other side of the world. Did you call, Master? Asked Consul now, coming into my room. Yes, my boy, I said. We need to pack. We're leaving in 2 hours. Certainly, he replied quietly. But we're not going to straight back to Paris, Consul. I told him. We're going to the Abraham Lincoln. We're going to hunt the famous monster. It will be a wonderful expedition, but a dangerous one. As you wish, Master, said Consul kindly. When our bags were packed, we left the hotel and took taxi to the Abraham Lincoln, where we were met by 2 of Captain Fergus Sandler. As Consul took our bag always 2 hours 7, the ship began to move. We had only just arrived in time. Crowd of people waved from the shore, and the Abraham Lincoln sailed away from New York and on into the dark water of the Atlantic Ocean. Thank you.